Welcome back. We're here to cover the divine feminine energy this week. Now, for those of you that don't know, we're Yildiz from Yildiz Readings, the esoteric resource and information network online. Separately, before we jump into the read, I do have an announcement, and that is that we are launching a brand new newsletter. It's going to be 12 editions. It's free to subscribers who opt in, and you will be getting a PDF update with exclusive insights monthly. So if you do want to sign up to that, you can jump online. Now, for those of you that don't know, I am a psychic medium. Grab a cup up. We are going to look at your twin flame path. First, we're going to look at it from the perspective of how you directly are going through it. And then we're going to look at the joint energy between you and your divine masculine. Without further ado, let's take a look at where this energy is at in the mix this week. Okay, we have your cards up on the screen, and as I titled it, I do feel you guys are going to have a bit of a surprise this week, and it's really matching up to the Divine Masculine's read. So if you haven't taken a look at that, do realise you are yin and yang. For those of you that don't know, I do directly coach the Twin Flame Collective. This also applies to me, as I am one. And I look at the energy weekly. I also look at how these transits directly can impact us through our ascension process. So really from this crowning energy within your own personal life, as a reference, we are looking at your energy first and then how it's going to directly be impacted. I do think there is some context here, especially from the top row, where you in your own energy, we'll show you the top row, you in your own energy, are directly looking at all things Venus, okay? There is this juggling act, and it's interesting that's what hovering above the head, which can be the crown chakra. We did have some challenges last month moving into this, where the perception of what was real and what wasn't was quite fogged, quite, you could have been quite tired. You might have felt that you needed to get into balance and harmony. You might have had a lot on your plate. And putting your eggs in one basket, it might have felt like it was a big mistake. Now, in your ascension process and through your healing path, when we are going through an activation, which I call it ascension and ascension, this year was always going to be quite foggy and difficult. Based on the 12th house, the serpent rising, the shedding of the old, the moving into the new. So we can become very much clouded by what's real and what's not, clouded and fogged and disillusioned, a lot of shadow work involved. I do feel the divine feminine is going to be coming into balance, but I also feel understanding fact from fiction is going to be critical in moving forward at this point in time. I feel your psychic portal really comes through in both while you're grounded and while you're triggered. Now, what happens when you're triggered, it's like a triangle. What goes up must come down, is we directly can attract quite malefic energy. I remember one aspect through my ascension path, I was like so peeved. I was saying to myself, what, if I'm psychic and I'm a twin, why can't I manifest things? And I actually was constantly manifesting, but I just hadn't noticed it. While my vibration was low, everything in my ego death, which we will continue to through our lifetime go through, but the ascension process can calm down and it goes to different levels. What you'll find is in that death ego cycle, we can attract very negative things, and it's very frustrating. It's almost like our deepest fears are realized. Now, the bonus and the negative in that is when you're aware of it, by doing that energy, removing yourself and getting into a grounded state, you directly then can start attracting good things too. So like attracts like, and I think divine feminine is coming into this harmonization and balance. I also feel you might be feeling as though you need to be balanced in order to see and feel this perception differently. I do feel that your divine masculine has been picking up on your frequency. So where that had been out of sync, I do feel this month it can start coming back into balance. Now, your top row, I do feel is linking to you actually getting into balance. Now, in your heart of it, you're scared to trust your heart, okay? For some of you, it can be. You got the perception in the heart chakra, it's in the reversal. You don't quite know whether it was a truth or a reality, if it's over or if it's not. And this is very easy to sum up in this top row. You do feel that a lot of sacrifices, and having faith in people have brought you stuck. I feel if you can look at the reflection of this, and it was really weird because over the last, few weeks, really looking back at photos when I had a mini break, and I think very spiritually, divine feminines were needing to tap out, get grounded. I think this frequency last week into this week is something that is quite pivotal. It's essential to actually nurture yourself and clear yourself. I also noticed this coming through on a video I watched, which was an astrologer, and he actually was mentioning and referencing the fact that the water directly behind him was absolutely still. And it was funny because the location I was staying at was exactly the same. And so what happens is if the water is still, like a scrying effect, you're actually able to see the reflection of the same as above as below, but it's different. Okay. So I feel that the divine feminine was needing to and is needing to take time, get grounded, and reflect, because what you're going to find is an equal negative there is an equal positive. And I think you're going to be summing things up. You're going to be getting life back into balance. You're also going to be getting yourself back into balance. When you're in balance, other people around you not necessarily need to be, but you're able to have that perception in a very grounded way. When you're not, it's like you're going down with the ship. There's a hole in the bucket, the thing's falling to pieces, everyone else around us is. And so, the whole analogy of the air hostess saying to us, look, first what you must do is look after yourself, and then you can look after others. If you felt like saving or you felt you needed saving, I feel this is you really stepping up and saying to yourself, I can do this. For my sanity, need to be balanced so I can perceive everything in a very clear fashion, any choice you're wanting. And I think if you were on the edge and the precipice of making a decision, I feel this week it could be, once grounded, you're going to be able to perceive that in a healthier reality. Now, from the bottom row, they're also showing that there's a creative element. And again, by being recharged, you are able to gain confidence in the yellow chakra. You're also able to be creative with this. And the inner child, yes, can come up. But I do think, being comfortable sometimes with just being very fluid, like the wind or like water, adaptable, I think it's going to help you actually move with the frustrations. Because I can say between now and the end of the year, just in general energy, ebbs and flows, backs and forwards, feeling like we're not getting anywhere. We are getting somewhere, but we're being given some clarity so that we can be more successful in 2026 in general. Okay, that's not, twin flame paths not moving. No, in general. So flow with it. Flow with these circumstances. Don't feel universe has it out for you, because you are moving into the thought process and what we think we create. But I also feel I'm getting this message, the alchemist. And I do feel your desires are going to be coming into reality. And I do think you're actually going to be quite surprised. Now we're going to jump in and we're going to look at how this energy is directly impacting your energy on your twin flame path and how this can directly show up. Now, already in your heart space, in your crowding energy, your head and heart need to move into alignment. There is a bit of reflection. There is some alignment, and I do feel divine masculines picking up on it. They're wanting to come in and rescue you. Now, I think it's really important that both parties are of the same perception. What do I mean by that? It's like, being aware that you are wanting to be open, you're wanting to be clear, there's no perfect time. I'll be honest with you, there's absolutely no perfect time. Sometimes we can, have this vibration and this feeling that it's like, no, this needs to be moved, or that would need to happen. And it's like, if you detach from all of that and know that you are the crystal, that you can handle it and you're grounded and you're rested, you're actually going to have a better experience. For instance, if you go shopping and you're absolutely hungry, you honestly are going to put more in that shopping trolley, as an example. So it's about the attitude you go in with it. And I think this week it's important, especially if psychically you're picking up, that there is something going on. There is a direct shift within your union connection. There's a shift within the heart chakra and the top level. If you do hit some bumpy waters, don't freak out, because what I'm saying is something quite suddenly, you could psychically be tuning into each other in that shift that's coming, and it's going to be very abrupt, very shocking, very abrupt. For some of you, you may receive a phone call. It could be quite sudden, unexpected. This could even be the person turning up. Now, yes, I do feel also things to do with family, tribe, location, creativity, and exhaustion. If you don't find a solution right away and you don't feel completely confident, you can just articulate your thoughts. However, this is coming through. If it's a text, if it's an email, pause before you react, because I do think it's important. You are going to get your heart's desires. Your desires are going to be manifested. I do think divine masculine is actually seeing your perspective. And also feel if you're really, really, really wanting to know where things are going, as you move through this month, you're going to gain more clarity. But I very much do feel this is going to happen quite suddenly. Now, as mentioned, we do have the new edition that is going to be out for early 2026. I will have a special edition for December for those that do sign up to the email newsletter. I'm setting it up online as we speak. And separately, we do have Sage Inner Circle Network that is going to be opening to the public next year, but it is via submission at this point in time. So if you want to get in early, jump on, sign up, and we do have a landing page. All the information is directly below. Now, separately, I would love to hear how this week's energy turns out for you. Watch the video first, save it in a folder, come back and give us a hand by telling the collective how this played out for you this week. We love to have the sharing. It does help the Twin Flame Collective, and you do meet like-minded individuals. Take care, and I'll see you soon.